I am so excited to be back here today to talk to you about my favorite subject, stitching. I'm Christy. I'm the crosshatch quilter. Today is Tuesday, December 20th, 2022, and this is my Flosstube number 24. I have been trying to film this video for like 2 weeks and just one thing after another. This time of year is always just crazy. Friday I tried to film, then over the weekend my husband was home making noise out in the garage working on a vehicle, and then yesterday I was supposed to have a delivery, and so I didn't film because I waited all day long for them to come and they never came. So Murphy's Law, while I am filming this video, I will have a delivery that I have to stop the video and answer the door for. But that is totally okay. We're just gonna do it because if I don't film today, then I won't be able to see you until after the new year. So it's it, today's it. I hope that you're having a wonderful holiday season. It has been so snowy and cold here. We normally get snow by now, but usually we're in the 20s, 30 degree area. We have been in the negatives every single day, and it doesn't get out of the negatives until like midday, just for the sun to go down, and then it dips back into the negatives again. It has been just frigid, and the puppies don't think that that's very awesome. They don't want to go outside. When you open the door to let them out, they're like, no, we're done. We're not going outside. So it's been a battle to still have a puppy that's trying to potty train, and it's, you know, negative degrees outside. I love this time of year. It's so nice because you have a little bit more time to stitch. Well, maybe after Christmas, but you don't have yard work, and it's just cold, and it's perfect stitching weather. So this year has been so crazy for our family. So I'm really looking forward to the winter months this year so that I can just get in lots of stitching time. That's the plan anyway, right? So today I have some Foley finishes to share with you. I have a couple redo finishes, some starts, some progress on some whips, a Sal announcement, and just some plans. So let's get started. Okay, I think that I straightened up the camera a little bit. This is a awkward angle that I'm at. I'm in my family room, and the front door is around the corner, and there's not a lot of space to put the chair or the table, and so this is as good as it's gonna get. But I wanted to film in front of this little area because of course all my seasonal stitching. And there's two big pieces that I don't have up here on this wall that I wanted to show you. They just simply won't fit. And so I have them. One piece is in my front room that I'm gonna make my sampler wall, and then the other piece is in my sewing room. So the first one is Yuletide Welcome. Oh, sorry for bumping the table. This is by Plum Street Samplers, and I believe that I got it back last year, like a week before Christmas. So it's really been fun to have it out this whole season to be able to enjoy it. I love these colors. It's not your traditional Christmas colors. It's more of an autumnal color palette, which totally is my jam. And I stitched this on 36 count a vintage buttercream linen by Lakeside Linens with all the called for threads. And it was a lot of stitching. This grass in the house is a lot of fill-in, but it's mindless fill-in that you can, you know, you stitch on when you're visiting with a friend or you're watching TV with your family. I worked on this piece a lot up camping, and so I have a lot of fun memories of stitching on it and doing a fill-in while I was talking to Lori and camping with her and her husband. So that one's a fun one. I'm gonna keep this one up all year round in my sewing room just because it does fit my color palette that I have in that room. I really enjoy an earth tone color palette throughout my house year round. And then this next one is Christmas Garden, and it's by Blackbird Designs. And this is, oh, I just love this piece. I just got it back this year. So this is its first Christmas being displayed, and I absolutely love it. I got it framed at the Craft Center of Fine Stitchery in Salt Lake, and I stitched it on 28 count fog by Picture This Plus with all the called for threads. And I dedicated this to my maternal family, my maternal line. So starting with my daughter and me and up to my great-great-grandma. So I love this piece. I'm gonna keep it up year-round in my front room on my sampler wall. So that are my two big pieces that won't fit up here on this wall. And then I have some finishes, a few that I just refinished this year. This first one, I have tried to find the name of it, and I will list it below in the description box. I cannot find the name of it. I know that it is a Country Cottage needlework, and I stitched it at least 5 years ago, and I had it on some sticky board with some bows and picks, and so I decided to just change it into a pillow. Has some little jingle bells and a star, and then I put a little bit of chenille trim around it from Lady Dot Creates. I was lucky and I found some that matched the red perfectly. I was excited about that. But I really wanted to just have some smalls to fit into this dough bowl after Christmas is over. I'm gonna take down like the Santa pieces. This one right here I'm gonna take down, and this one. And then the rest of everything else I'm gonna leave up through winter. This is Christmas at Hollyberry Farm, and it does say Merry Christmas, but it's a winter scene to me. So I'll be keeping this all up through probably at least February. It's here in Vernal, Utah. It is winter till like April. Sometimes on Easter we have snow still in our yard. But so I finished it with a little bit of buffalo check on the back, and so that will be fun to have some snowmen in the front dough bowl area there. And then my next finish, I didn't stitch it this year. I stitched it quite a few years ago, but I never finished it. I was being lazy, I guess. But this is December Wordplay by With a Needle and Thread. And again, I found some chenille trim that matched the stitching, and I just put a star with a safety, what's it called, a safety pin? Oh my heck. And I think your brain goes totally blank when you're filming these videos. Like words that you would normally just roll off your tongue, words are hard. Anyway, little jingle bell. And then I finished it with some gingham backing. I believe this is an old Blackbird Designs fabric line from years back. I'm gonna try and set these down gently so that the jingle bells don't ring in your ear too bad. And then my last video, I was working on this Goodness and Plenty by Plum Street Samplers. And I had finished the first stitch, which is this crow. And I finally finished it into a pillow, just a rusty safety pin. Oh my heck, is that the name of it? You guys are probably just laughing at me. And some more Blackbird Designs fabric because it just matched all the burgundy thread colors, and a little bit of vintage trim. This is by Lori Holt of Be in My Bonnet. I love her vintage trims for small pillow finishes, and it comes on a great big bobbin, so you buy it and you have tons. So there's my first one, and I stuffed these all these pillows with sawdust, and then a little bit of stuffing in each corner, and then right where I stitch it closed. And I had all of these finished. Like I'd sat and filled them all one day with sawdust, and I just wasn't thinking. It's been a long time since I've finished smalls, and I hadn't stuffed the corners with stuffing. And so I got them all I got them all stitched up, and after all that work, I was just not happy with any of them. They were kind of just floppy, and the points weren't, I like them to be perky and nice and firm. So I unstitched all of them over the weekend and filled them the way that I know they should be. And I'm much happier with them. They're still not perfect because my finishes are never perfect, but they're good enough for who they're for. So there's that one. And then after my last video, I stitched these last two that are on the chart. So this little pillow and this little sampler alphabet. So the first one is Goodness and Plenty. And this one went a little bit wonky. I tried to get it as straight as I could on the finishing. Again, chenille trim with the little plaid Blackbird Designs fabric. When I finish these pillows, one of the things that I do to help make them straight and not so, like a lot of my old finishes would have a really big arch right here. I try to get them to be more flat, is I take a red thread and I weave it in about 1.5 inches, an inch away from where I, how much frame I want around the stitching. And I go in and out of the same line on all 4 sides. So then when I'm sewing it on my sewing machine, I follow that stitch line so that it doesn't, because when you lay linen down on your cutting board to cut it, no matter how much you've ironed it, for me, I find that it goes wonky and then it's just distorted and not straight. So I just do a running stitch along each side so that I know that I'm not getting super off on my finishes there. And so then this is the last one, and love it. This was a fun quick stitch, all of them were. And this is, again, chenille with the Blackbird Designs. So the only one that I did differently was this one, and this is a Blackbird Designs fabric as well. I don't know what line they've been out for years and years, and I've hoarded the fabric. Okay, so then my next finish is a start and a finish, and I was so excited to see this get released, and that is Rudolph and Friends by With Thy Needle and Thread. And the day that I was able to order it, I immediately called Anne with Dying to Stitch and placed my order, and she got it right out to me. So I stitched this up, and she is just so cute there with Rudolph. And there's just a tiny little bit of over one stitching right here with the candy cane. And this is stitched with all the called for threads on Winter's Brew. And then my cute friend Cindy sent me some of these cute pins, and I thought that was super cute to match the holly and the ivy border. And then I just finished it with a little gingham bow. I tried to find a snowflake, and I know that I have some somewhere. I spent probably 2 hours trying to find the snowflakes, but after you move, things decide to find a different spot. So I put it away in a very safe spot. I'll find it, and I'll probably add that onto there. So that was a really fun quick stitch. And then my next finish, I had been working on this with Lori as the 25th day stitch Sal. So we started it last December on the 25th, and we were supposed to work on it every day or every 25th day of the month, but this year I fell off the bandwagon big time. I think I stitched on it like in February and January, and then I didn't stitch on it again the rest of the year. So this is Paper Snowflakes by With Thy Needle and Thread, and I will insert a picture here of where I was last time. Like I said, I hadn't worked on it all year, so I picked this up this month and I finished it. And again, this is not perfect, but it's good enough for who it's for. I just laced it and put it in this frame. This is a frame that my uncle made out of wood from an old cabin that he used to live in, so it has sentimental value. And I just love stitching this. I think that Lori and I finished on the same day. And I just wanted to get it up on my wall. I'm gonna probably put it right here when Santa comes down so that I can keep it up all winter. But like I said, I know that it's not perfect. I have more space on one side than the other, and it's a little bit crooked, but I did the best I could for the amount of linen I had. I had a very small margin on this side right here, and it is what it is. But it it's perfect for just a seasonal stitch that's going to be out for a couple months, and I love it. And I think that this frame really accented all of the browns in the piece. So I stitched this on 36 count Stars Hollow Blend by R&R. And there's 2 colors in my threads. I put my threads away already, but I think that this was Heirloom Gold and Apple Cider. Heirloom Gold and Apple Cider. And mine, you could hardly tell a difference, but I went with it and I'm really happy with it. So it doesn't have a ton of contrast, but I love these colors. They're my favorite, and I love this green in here. So it was a really fun stitch, and I am planning on starting another stitch that I will keep as my 25th day stitch sal. I'll show you that here in a little bit. And then after that, I started working on my whips, and I got distracted by a few squirrels, of course, as always, because that's how I roll. One of them is a fun start that I started with my friend Lori, and this is by the Scarlet House, and this is Coverlet Christmas, and we just started this last week together, and I have loved this forever, and I've never bought the chart. So when we were trying to find a stitch to stitch together, she suggested this one, and I'm like, I love that stitch. I love coverlets. They're totally my jam, and I just love this piece. So I ordered the chart, ordered the threads. I'm stitching with all the called for silks, which I haven't even put on a bobbin yet, or a thread ring, so I will show them to you next time. And I just have the tiniest of start, but I am stitching this on 36 count hog bristle by Fox and Rabbit Designs, and there's my teeny tiny little start. I will keep working on this throughout the end of the year, and if I don't finish it, then I'll just work on it next year. And then this one wasn't supposed to be a sal, but I've had this kitted up for a long time, and I was planning on starting it this winter. It was set aside in my winter box, but Lori had started Whitaker by Stacy Nash, and she told me in the morning that she was going to start it, so I'm like, I'm going to pull it out and start with you. And so that's what I did, and I just have it outlined right now. And so then when I'm stitching with family over Christmas, or visiting with friends, and I don't have a lot of time to, pay attention to a chart, I'll use this as my fill-in project. And he is so easy and fun to just trace, and then now he'll be mindless stitching. So I'm really excited about that. And I also have his, the partner piece to it, and I will stitch her as well. But I'm stitching this with all the called for threads on, actually, that's not true. The white is oatmeal instead of, I think, roasted marshmallow, because mine was a little bit yellow. And then I'm stitching this on 36 count Cocoa by Weeks Dye Works. So that will be a fun one. I think I'll be finishing that within the next couple weeks before my next video. So like I said, I had ordered all the new charts from Brenda Gervais by Dying to Stitch. They had released them, and so I called Anne, and the minute that this chart arrived in the mail, within an hour, like I'd already ordered all the threads and I had the linen in my stash, so I was ready to go, and as soon as it hit my mailbox, within the hour I had started this. And this is Santa Stops Here by With Thy Needle and Thread. And I wanted to start this right away because I knew that if I didn't and I waited, that I wouldn't want to work on it after that. It's a really beautiful piece and it's super popular, but once everybody is stitching on something like that, I don't want to stitch on it. I don't know what the psychology is behind that. There's definitely, I don't know if it's because I just see it so much on Instagram that I already feel like I'm stitching it. I don't know what it is, but so I wanted to get a start on it right away. And so that's what I did. And I'm stitching this on the called for linen, which is 36 count Winter's Brew. And all the called for threads, they are so pretty. I always love the colors that Brenda picks. They're perfect. So the fun thing about this piece is it calls for the same threads as Rudolph and Friends. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Rudolph and Friends calls for the exact same linen and the exact same threads. And so what I would do is I started on both of these the same day, and I would just use, you know, this would call for just a little bit of red, and then I would move over here and stitch on it, the rest of my threads. So I wasn't wasting any threads. And I would do the same. I'd start over here and then bounce over to this one. So it was just kind of, I tag teamed this stitch until this was finished. And I'm pretty close. It's been such a fun stitch to work on in the season, especially with all the snow that we've had. We've just had buckets and buckets. We have like just several feet of snow outside. But I have a couple more things over here to finish. I need to stitch the Cardinal's candy cane that's in her mouth, and then, or his mouth, and then some snowflakes and just a couple little details over here, some doodads. And then I just have all of the mason work on this house and the little beads. I have some beads, but I don't have the little teeny tiny ribbon. I need to find out how to source that. So I'm hoping to have this finished the next time that I visit with you. And it has been a super fun and easy stitch. I just love those little trees in the snow. And she has a few pieces with this cute little trees in the white snow, and I just love them. So I want to stitch them all. So there's that one. That took up a good amount of my stitching time since I've seen you last. And then the last piece that I worked on, and I have gotten a ton of progress on this. I haven't seen you since the end of October, so all of November and half of December I had time to get some progress on Elizabeth Furness from Hands Across the Sea. And I will insert a picture here of where I was last time. And I'm stitching this with all the called for silks. They're a Veriswa. They're in Flossway bags, so you can't really see them in too much detail, but it is such a yummy palette. And I think that Veriswa silks are my favorite silks to work with. They're just a little bit plumper than like NPI, which I love stitching with NPI too, but on 36 count, these have just fantastic coverage. So I am stitching this with my friend Yvette as her birthday stitch. We started this in October, and we're stitching it as a group. Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts and Becky from Socks for Mom as well. And here is my progress. I'm stitching this on 36 count Baby Sheep by Jude Designs. So since I've last seen you, I think I've stitched possibly the angel. I'll insert a picture here. A bunch of the flowers, the carnations, and then this huge rose. Oh my goodness. So I really love stitching on this. Like, it's been comfort stitching. The silk and the linen is just the perfect combo, and I love it so much. But this flower was a beast, and I did not enjoy I could not wait until that got done. I think it took me a week to stitch on this because, you know, during the holidays, during Thanksgiving, I hosted for this year, and there's a lot of days that I didn't have very much time, only maybe like 20 or 30 minutes. And so I was so glad when I got that done. I sent a picture to Lori. I'm like, look, I finally got it done. And the rest of it just went beautifully after that. I absolutely have just really enjoyed working on this. And it's fun to talk to the girls, you know, and see their progress and just have stitchy chats, which is my favorite subject to talk about. And I'm almost done. I purposely left a little bit of this grass because I'm going to be having family over for Christmas for about a week. And this will be lovely fill-in where I don't have to pay attention. I can just do fill-in at nighttime when we're taking it easy. But I did get I don't know if you can see the sheep. There's 2 sheep right there. And then I got the lion and the, I don't know what this is. Is this a swan? I was telling my husband, I totally think these look like little French bulldogs. They're so cute. There's a couple of them. I almost considered stitching one black for Hazel, but I decided to stay true to the chart. But I absolutely, they just totally, their little, you know, big heads and their little short legs, it totally looks like a French bulldog to me. So this is definitely one of my very favorite samplers. Our plan is just to have it done in a year, and we started in October, so I'm thinking that we're going to be on track for that. It's definitely a fun one to work on, so I will have no problem doing that. And then I have one last whip to show you. I have not worked on it. I haven't worked on it in months and months and months, but I promised my friend Carol Crago that I would show it on my video because she is excited about this chart, and so am I. This is one that I really want to get to in 2023. At the very beginning of the year, I'll do a whip parade of the things that I really want to focus on this year, and a lot of them are the same as last year because this year just didn't go as planned, but I still got some stitching time in. So any stitching time is good. But this is Mary Carr by Needlework Press. And this is one of my very favorite samplers of all time. And I think that these look like tomatoes. I'm not sure that that's what the stitcher intended. I'm sure they're supposed to be buds, but I'm calling them tomatoes. So here is my progress on Mary Carr. We've got the entire border and flowers stitched. I have, I'd say about 1/3 of this done. And I'm stitching this on 36 count creme brulee by R&R. And I still have to fill in all this brickwork, the white, so the mortar. And I did change, I know, the grass line over here because as I was filling in, and I used the called for threads on the grass, you could not see this deer that is wearing high heels. Look at the high heels. And so I just unstitched it and then made the grass line different so that you could see the deer. I love the red cow. So definitely going to be getting back to this one this coming year. And I'm stitching this with all the called for threads except for I changed one of the reds to Buckeye Scarlet and the other to Country Redwood. And if you want more details, you're welcome to message me if you want to use the same colors. All right, so I have to pause the video so I can clean up my mess, and I'll be right back. I got some fun Happy Mail in the mail from Fat Quarter Shop that I wanted to share with you today, and I love all of them. I'm excited about all of them. Rudolph by It's So Emma, which is Fat Quarter Shop's publishing company. I think that is so cute. I love it, and I love it on that dark linen or fabric. And then the next one, oh, I was so excited when I opened this. I wanted to order this, and every year I say that I'm going to stitch ornaments, and then I end up just stitching on big, huge seasonal stitching. I need to get my act together and do some more smalls. They're a lot of fun. And I've done some more fall smalls recently, and I really enjoy them. They're a fun, quick, satisfying finish. But this is cookie cutter ornaments, again by It's So Emma, which is the Fat Quarter Shop. I think these are adorable. They would be so fun on a kitchen tree. And then it shows you on the back how they have finished it. Super, super cute. And I believe they sell tins for them as well to do the fully finishing on them. And then I love this. This is going to be a quilt along starting in January, and it is So Scrappy Spools by Lori Holt. And I definitely want to work on this. Absolutely love this quilt. You could do it in any color palette and it would look amazing. I just love all the different spools, so that will be fun. And then I've gotten some super sweet cards in the mail. It's so fun to be able to be in our new home and receive mail. And it's just kind of like a hug. Welcome home. So I really appreciate everyone that has sent Christmas cards. My friend Kim, she sent me the most heartwarming box of goodies. I'd show them to you, but most of them have been consumed. But she sent peanut brittle and almond roca, homemade caramels, homemade fudge, candy canes, and at least half a dozen jams, homemade, canned by her, and just so excited about that. So she sent me goodies the last, I think, 2 Christmases in a row. And when my husband came home from work one day and the box was sitting there and I was, you know, taking the stuff out of the box, and he goes, "Oh, is my peanut brittle in there?" And so it's his favorite. The last thing I wanted to show you that is from our sweet Cindy C on Instagram. You all know her and love her, and she is just the most thoughtful, sweetest lady. Our community just wouldn't be the same without her. I'm getting teary-eyed. But she surprised me with the sweetest ornament. And can you hear Gus snoring? So I'm in my family room, as I said before, and he's on the couch right in front of me. So sorry about that. But she stitched this and surprised me with it. I was so excited to open this. She even stitched 2022 on the back. And I will insert a picture here of where I hang it. I don't have very many handmade ornaments, and none of them on that tree are stitched by me. They're all either gifts or ones I've bought. And I absolutely treasure them. This just means so much to me, and I know that you guys know what a special gift it is to receive stitching from somebody, because we appreciate it. Whenever I make something for someone that doesn't stitch, I'm always like, they don't even know. And they don't, but we do, right? So thank you so much, Cindy. I knew you guys would love to see that. So in October, I had signed up for the Shepherd's Bush retreat. And it's something that you sign up for well in advance. Well, of course, I didn't know that I was going to be moving. But we ended up having to move around that exact same time frame, and so I could not make it to the retreat. But after my last video, I received my retreat package in the mail, so I wanted to share with you those goodies. They put on such a wonderful retreat, and I really had FOMO, as all the lovely ladies that got to go were posting on Instagram. I missed out on meeting so many wonderful stitchers. So I will always feel bad that I didn't get to go. But I got some awesome goodies in the mail from Shepherd's Bush, and I don't know all the details from all of these things because I wasn't there, but I know that they had a lady make some stuff for the retreat. So she made everybody a pin cushion, and this is out of French General Fabrics. That's super cute. And then they had another local artisan make these magnetic pin bowls, and they are so cute. They have little sheep on there, and the theme for this retreat was Home Sweet Home, I believe. And so of course they included the house, and like I said, this is magnetic, so that is super cute. And then I think the same lady that made that pin cushion made everyone a project bag. I love that, and I love the fabrics. Again, French General. And then it has a pinstripe lining. So the projects, there's 2 groups that you can sign up for in these retreats, and one of them has Shepherd's Bush, Plum Street, samplers, and I can't remember off the top. I didn't sign up for that. I signed up for the other one that is has Blackbird Designs, and I'll just show you all of the designers that I signed up for. It'll be easier than trying to remember. The first one is a little make and take that we got from Shepherd's Bush, and it is a welcome tag. And so it comes with a wood base for it, and then you can stitch your initial and put it on the front there. And it comes with the paper to stitch it on. That is super cute. And then this is by Jeanette Douglas Designs, and this is Heart and Home. And this came kitted with the loveliest linen, and I believe all silks in the kit. So that's super cute. And then the next one came in a little zipper bag. And this is by Chessie and Me. And she gave us a chart. That is super cute. I love that. That'll be fun to stitch in the summer. And then the kitted project is Where We Love Sampler, and again follows the Home Sweet Home theme. Super, super cute. I love that. And it came with silks as well, and some yummy linen. I believe that looks like a picture of this plus linen. Those silks are yummy. I thought that it was interesting that it was the Home Sweet Home theme this year, because we just got to be moved into our house. That will be fun to make these stitches. And then this is a kit by Cecilia Strickland, and it's called A Mother's Heart. I'll try to get in there close and show you. I love that. I think that is a super cute sampler. I like how you can see inside the house, and then it has a place for you to put all of your family's initials on there. That would be a quick stitch too. And then the last one, which is my favorite, not that I should have favorites, but Blackbird Designs just has a special place in my heart. And this is Thy Love More Strong. And of course it has a house on there. And I love this. It has the alphabet and those birds. That is just so signature of Blackbird. I love the color palette. And it came all kitted up with the most beautiful floss rings. And again, the color palette that we all know and love by Blackbird. And this is some Velt by, picture this plus linen. And Velt is sometimes really green, but this piece isn't as, I've seen it greener before. This is really pretty. So there's that. And then it also included a little small on the alder bough. That would be a cute small. Like I said, I totally love the idea of smalls, and I need to get better about stitching them because they're just so much fun. So then they did a group piece that all of the designers contributed to, and it is called A Shared Stitches Shepherd's Bush Retreat. And it comes in a little book like this, and this is what you end up stitching. And each segment, I think there's 3 segments up here, and then the 3 down here, are from each of the different designers. Blackbird Designs, Chessie and Me, Heartstring Samplery, Jeanette Douglas Designs, Plum Street, Shepherd's Bush. And then they gave you this adorable box to finish all the pieces in. And of course it came with all of the linen and threads and floss drop or floss ring. So I'm excited about that. I love, love, love that little piece. I'll show it to you again. So I don't know if this will be released or not. I'm assuming that the other pieces will be released to the public this year. So be on the lookout for those. And then I have a fun stitch along to announce. I'm sure you've already heard about it, and I put it on my Instagram as well. But Penelope Tucker and Tanya from the Scarlet House have put on the most wonderful surprise for Brenda, the sampler stitcher, Flosstube here, Brenda, and the serial starter. she is having a big birthday in January, on January 16th, and Tanya reproduced a sampler that is absolutely amazing. It's called Martha Evans 1879, and I'll insert a picture here. And so they want us all to join to help celebrate Brenda's big birthday. Right now the linen is being released by Needle and Flax, and she has stated that there will be plenty to go around, and the called for is 40 count Hemingway by Needle and Flax, but you could stitch it on 36 count. You can stitch it on whatever linen count, or it will work for Ada as well because it's just 2/2. And the called for threads are 103, which is what you'd stitch with 40 count linen or higher. But it also has a conversion on there for Avera Soie and DMC as well. So it is a soft start date of January 16th through February 16th. So we all have time to gather all of the accoutrements, all of the threads and linen. And when you put your progress on social media, use the hashtag Brenda's Big Birthday Sale. So I'm super excited to join in and stitch that along with all of you. It's a beautiful sampler, and it's just a fun way to celebrate Brenda. So the next thing that I want to do is I wanted to do a giveaway and show you some of my winter stitching. So after I finish Santa Stops Here by With a Needle and Thread, I'm kind of over Christmas stitching. I think that I'll be able to finish that before Christmas Day actually gets here. And then I think I'll be moving on to Christmas stitching, or winter stitching, excuse me. So I've pulled out my favorites. That was one of the things that I did like about a month ago. I was getting excited for Christmas, and winter stitching is something I've never focused on really before. Winter and autumn smalls, I really want to focus on for my dough bowl right here. And so this is what I've got in the lineup, but of course I won't get to all of them. I have them all in my snowman bag. Super cute. I made that a few years ago, and unfortunately, I wish they would reprint that fabric because it's so popular. But these are some of my favorite winter stitches that I need to decide what to stitch. And this first one is Winter Wonderland by Blackbird Designs. I absolutely love this one. And I've had this in my stash for years. I need to get it stitched. It wouldn't take too terribly long. I say that, but Blackbird Designs stitches seem to take longer because there's color changes, and that's what makes them so beautiful. Cardinal Kin by Plum Street. I've seen so many of you stitch this. I love cardinals. They're one of my very favorite birds. A Country Winter. This one's by Plum Street, and I love it because it, like I said, it can just be up all winter long. It's not a Christmas stitch. Absolutely love that. And then this is Whitaker's Wife, Girlfriend, Companion, and this is Paisley by Stacey Nash. Another one that's a possibility is January Wordplay by With Thy Needle and Thread. I have this one all kitted up with called for threads and linen. Excuse me, let me take a drink of water. I've had this one in my stash for a couple years, and I really, really love it. Every time I see somebody stitching these, I get FOMO. I really want to start these. I love all three of them. And this is Spring, Summer, Autumn, Winter. Let's Talk Winter by Hands On Design. So they have one for each season is what I was trying to say. So there's that. And then the Snowball series by Brenda. And I have a cute little pillow, maybe I can reach it from here, that I've already got this series started because Nicole from Nicole's Needlework stitched me this one last year. So I really want to stitch all of the rest of them. Those are super cute, and I've got that one kitted up with the called for thread and linen. And I am dying to start this, but I know that it will take me a while to work on it. It's a big stitch, and I really need to focus on like smalls. But anyway, let me just show it to you. It's Prairie Schooler and it's Christmas Village. And even though it's called Christmas Village, it can be up all winter long. It doesn't have a Santa on it. It just is a winter scene. There's a snowman on there. Absolutely love it. And I have it kitted up with all the DMC and vintage sand dune. And I just think that white from the snowman will really pop on that linen. I love this so much. So I need to get this one started. No matter how long, I mean, I can just start it and then, you know, not work on it all year. It can just, you know, just because I started doesn't mean that I have to be married to it, right? I always hesitate starting things now because I've been such a squirrel in the past. This one would be a quick stitch and can be up all winter. Absolutely love that. Joy and Good Cheer by Brenda Gervais. And then I finally broke down and got this book, Seasons of the Heart by With Thy Needle and Thread, and I absolutely love these two on the back. I want to stitch both the autumn and the winter. But these colors in this winter piece are my favorite. I love a little bit of mint blue for winter. So I think that the winner, I mean, I want to start all of these. We need more time and more arms. But I think that the winner is going to have to be Winter at Rose Manor. And I have it in its bag. I started this like 2 or 3 times, didn't like the linen I had started it on, and then everybody was stitching it, and so I just threw in the towel and decided I just moved on. But I have it all kitted up, and I'm just gonna start it, and even if I just work on it a little bit this winter, I'd really like to have it finished by next fall, because she has that piece. If you haven't seen it, it was a Dying to Stitch retreat release that Brenda Gervais, it's a companion piece to this, and I can't remember the name of it, but I'm assuming that it will be released like in the fall so we can all stitch it for winter, and I want to stitch that next winter, so I want to get Winter Rose Manor done. So having said all that, I'd like to give this one away. I have an extra chart, and I would just love it if you would tell me what your traditional holiday dinner is that you just have to make, that your family, you know, wants and craves. I've made a few throughout the years. Like I used to make a great big huge turkey dinner, and that was so much work that I would feel like I didn't have any time with my family because I was in the kitchen all day long. I've done prime rib before. This year I have ordered homemade tamales from one of my friends here in town, and on Christmas Eve we're gonna have tamales, and I'm gonna make tacos and homemade guacamole and salsa. But I still don't even know what to make for Christmas Day. I'm just stumped, and I've asked my family and they're like, we don't care. So I would love it if you could tell me what you make. I was even pondering making like homemade pasta. I have like a KitchenAid attachment, and I thought that would be kind of fun, but again, it would be a lot of work and I'd be in the kitchen all day. So tell me what your favorite holiday meal is, and I'll get you entered in to win this, and then you can stitch it along with me. Last video I had a giveaway for Autumn Love by Lori Holt of Be In My Bonnet, and this is was a stitch along through Lori and Fat Quarter Shop, and I absolutely love this. I'm looking forward to working on this some more this year or in 2023, and it comes with the needle minder. So cute. The winner for this is Jana Richardson. So Jana, if you will either message me on Instagram or email me, and I'll put my email below, and send me your address, I'll get this out in the mail to you so that you can get this stitched up next year. If I believe right, Jana said that she had made the quilt, and so it'll be fun to have the matching cross stitch as well. So I think that is all. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but it's been, again, so long since I've made a video. I just do what I can, but hopefully with winter stitching and a little bit more time, now that we've settled in and winter's here, I hopefully will have a little bit more progress to show with you. I always want to film more often, but then I never feel like I have enough to show unless it's been like 2 months and then I have enough stitching to show you. But then I watch other floss tubers that don't have as much stitching and I absolutely love their videos. So tell me what you think. Would you be okay if I did videos more often but there's not as much stitching to show? And I just hope that you guys all have a happy holidays. I'm super excited. My son, I'm getting teary-eyed. My son is coming home for Christmas for 4 days with his girlfriend, and it'll just be so much fun. On the subject of food, he has requested lemon bars. Those are his favorite. So of course I went to the store yesterday and got all the lemons and all the stuff to make that. I use the Ina Garten Barefoot Contessa. I use her recipe for lemon bars. They're so good. And then the other thing that I make that is his favorite, it's everyone's favorite in the family, and it is called strawberry pie. And it's basically cheesecake that has a strawberry gelatin Danish dessert topping on the top. So it's granola with butter and then your cream cheese, your cheesecake, and then it has that Danish dessert on top. And instead of I call it strawberry pie, but it's really raspberry in our family. I do raspberries and then the raspberry Danish dessert. This time of year, raspberries are a little bit tart, and so that's why I use the strawberries are a little bit tart, so I use the raspberries. I should just end this video because I am tongue twisting everything. But I hope that you have a great rest of the year 2022, and I'll be back in January to talk to you about some more winter stitching. Happy holidays.